As a reminder to members of the public, please turn off your video and please mute yourself. When your item is scheduled, the commission will ask for your input, and at that time, then you can unmute yourself and turn on your video. If for some reason, due to power outages, we have members of the commission drop off, we will, including staff, we will return back. If I drop off, someone else from the city will step in and we will wait for the other commissioners to return. If for some reason we lose one commissioner permanently due to power outages, then we will need to end the meeting since we will not have quorum. And we're ready to go. Thank you.
Okay. So the Design Review Commission, January 4th, 2023 is now in session. Going to establish a quorum. Jeppe?
Right. Present.
Stuart?
Present.
Sam? Present. Our two members are not present. Do we have to name them, Sean, who's not here?
Yes, please, for the record, yes.
Michael Ma and
Commissioner Blankus.
yeah, Commissioner Blankus. Okay, public comments. At this time, people who are in this session, if they have something that is not on the agenda, they can speak to it now. And Sean is the one that will determine who can speak. Are there any individuals who would like to speak on a non-agenda item?
If there is a member of the public who would like to speak on an item that's not on the agenda, please raise your hand through the raise hand function. If you're not able to raise your hand, please unmute yourself and provide us your name. And in the order of each individual, the commissioner will call you, the chair will call you. There does not appear to be anyone who has raised their hand, and no one has unmuted themselves.
All right, thank you. All right, let's move next to the items for consideration and action. First is the consent calendar. First item on the consent calendar is the minutes of November 2nd. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, I'll call the roll.
To the
Sam,
chair.
Excuse me, Sam, before you
Yes.
call the roll, I did have one comment on
Okay,
the
good.
minutes, believe it or not. At the bottom of page 4, it says that I made a comment, but I was not at the meeting. So somebody else made that comment.
Uh-huh.
Which item, Commissioner Klein?
Item 3, 3 or 4 lines from the bottom where it says upon motion by Vice Chair Ma, seconded by Klein.
So the problem is that we did take notes, however, we lost the recording. So I will, this is somehow what we noted down, which is incorrect. So if we would like, we can always continue these minutes to the next meeting where we have all the other members attending, so that we can find out who the exact person is, unless another commissioner remembers who made that second.
I
My only concern was that I'm marked as absent, so it
Yes.
piece of it makes sense that I did it.
So we should remove that from our calendar for our next meeting.
Well, I would recommend that you continue the item to the next scheduled meeting of January 18th. And we should have all the commissioners present, and then we should be able to get input. I'm sorry for that. I have no idea why we did not have the recording. And so this is one of the few meetings we don't have the recording. So I couldn't go back and listen.
Do we need a motion to do that, Sean?
Yes, please.
Okay, is there a motion to move it to our next meeting?
I move that we continue the item.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Jimmy? Roll call, Stuart,
Aye.
Jeff A.
Aye.
Sam, aye. All right, let's move to our public hearing. Our first item is V 21-0003 and DR 22-0067. No, I'm sorry, I'm on, here we go. I was on the last meeting. So it's, the first is 905 Leonella Avenue, SC 220024, 905 Leonella Avenue. Sean, would you like to begin?
Yes, hi. 1 second. I can't. Everything's lost. 1 second. Constantly losing this. Here we go. Thank you, Chair Harding and Commissioners. The project before you is a design review application for a new two-story house. The project includes 2,884 square feet at the first story, 1,202 square feet at the second story. The applicant's project does include a 660 square foot ADU. As the Commission is aware, the ADU permit process is handled administratively and it's not part of the design review or for consideration at tonight's meeting, but it's purely for information that we're providing that to you. The slide, oh, too fast. The slide before you, somehow very sensitive. The slide, it is a mind of its own. Okay, so I have no idea where this is moving on its own. We'll see if it'll stay. The subject property is located in diverse character neighborhood. Let me try to clear this. Let me put it somehow somewhere different. Try again. My apologies. Somehow it's moving forward. The subject property is considered in. Try to go back. Hopefully it'll stay. As indicated in the staff report, the subject property is located in diverse character neighborhood as defined in the city's residential design guidelines. Subject site is located on the south side of a dead-end street on Leonella Avenue with nearest cross street at Covington Road. Houses in this neighborhood are primarily one-story and two-story houses with simple forms, rustic materials. There is, as staff noted, a newer two-story house at 906 Leonella, which does represent a slightly larger scale. It does maintain the overall simple massing and horizontal emphasis as the existing houses in the neighborhood. This provides this provides the aerial of the site and well, we're going to go with it. So provides an aerial of the site, which apologize. I don't know. We're going to have to do it this way then. Okay. Let me expand the screen. Here we go. So this provides an aerial of the site at the end of Leonella Avenue. This is the proposed site located here at the end of a dead-end street. This is the subject property. Let me try to get to my right. No, it's now I'm a mess. This property is considered a narrow corner, a narrow lot, which is defined as a lot that is less than 80 feet. For narrow lots, the interior site setbacks is reduced from 10 feet to 10% of the lot width. Since the lot is 77.97 feet in width, the required interior side yard setback is 7 feet 9.5 inches with a second story side yard setback of 15 feet 3.5 inches. The proposed design is consistent with the development standards for the district, including a reduction in, it does comply with minimum required reduced setbacks due to being a narrow lot. Try to move it down, sorry. The project uses, again, a more contemporary architectural style and materials than those found in the surrounding neighborhood. Project incorporates design elements that are found in neighborhoods such as hipped roof, articulated massing, low pitch roof, and high quality materials. The materials for the plant for the project are incorporated into the plans. These include stone veneer, cement, fiber window trim, wood windows, standing seam metal roof, which staff believes are integral to the overall contemporary style. According to residential design guidelines, the house should be designed to fit the lot, should not result in a home that stands out in the neighborhood. The project does propose 9-foot 6-inch tall first floor wall plates, which staff believes is consistent with the 8 to 9 foot plates found in the neighborhood. The applicant is also proposing 8-foot 6-inch plate heights at the second story, which staff does believe reduces the perception of bulk at an 8-foot plate height. Many homes in the neighborhood are at an 8-foot plate height at the second story. The applicant is requesting an increase by 6 inches, which staff believes is minor in nature. In regards to, let's see if I can move this, there we go. In regards to privacy, on the left north side of the elevation of the second story, there are 6 windows with 6-foot sill heights. And along the right side, south elevation on the second story, there are also 6 windows with 6-foot sill heights. Due to their placement and due to the tall sill heights, staff does not believe the proposed windows create unreasonable privacy impacts for neighboring properties. We have the proposed rear elevation. On the rear elevation, there is one window located here for the primary bedroom with a 3-foot sill height. The French doors with 2 side lights on either side exit onto a balcony that is 4 feet deep by 14 feet wide. Balcony size does comply with the residential design guideline standard of a passive deck with a maximum depth of 4 feet. In addition, the applicant has incorporated a privacy wall along the right side, which does diminish potential privacy views along the right side of the property. The applicant has maintained a reasonable setback from both the sides and the rears. The combination of the existing screening and proposed screening, staff believes, does mitigate potential privacy issues to sides and rear property lines. Let's see. The applicant, in regards to landscaping, there is an arborist report that is provided as an attachment. It does indicate that there are 15 trees on site, 6 trees on adjacent properties. The applicant proposes the removal of 1 protected Argyle apple tree due to being diseased. The applicant is proposing the removal of 4 additional trees, but these trees are not protected under the city's tree protection. As indicated in the report, or as the commission is aware, tree protection guidelines apply to trees that are over 48 inches in circumference when measured at a height of 4 feet, and trees 7, 8, 18, and 21, which are being proposed for removal, fall below those thresholds. So they do not require a tree removal permit for removal. The applicant, I think I'm gonna have to go to IT tomorrow. Sorry about that. The landscape plan does incorporate additional evergreen screening trees to fill in along portions of the property. These are indicated here, here, and then here. And this is, I believe, Podocarpus gracilior. That mature height would be at 20 feet, and it has a spread or width of 10 to 20 feet. Staff does believe that this project does comply with residential design guidelines and the design review findings, and recommends approval of the project. This concludes staff's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Commissioners, questions for staff?
No questions at this moment.
You're muted. There you go, Stuart.
I do have one question for staff about lot coverage. On page 6, you have the proposed and allowed columns. And it looked like the allowed lot coverage was 3,247, but the proposed was 3,787. And I was just curious why there's, some 500 square feet of additional coverage.
So let me pull it up really quick.
I believe it's the ADU.
Yeah, I'll pull up the table that breaks down the floor area for you so that we can see that. So I'll go to that slide real quick. And then, but yes, I believe it is the ADU, but I want to make sure for you. Apologies, I'm trying to get to this. Okay, here we go. So let me. So the total condition area is 2,073 plus 445, which is below the maximum. The additional lot coverage is coming from the ADU. Under the ADU regulations, if an ADU is below 850 square feet, they are exempt from our coverage and floor area calculations. So that is why it's above that.
Got it. Thank you.
Any other comments, Stuart? Okay, I have none either. Could we hear from the owner or the architect?
Sure, yeah. Hi, my name is Kyle Chen. I'm the applicant and the architect for the project. And I would like to spend a few minutes talking about the design of the house. And let's see if I can share my screen. Give me 1 second.
Also, you have, just to say, you have 10 minutes for your time.
Oh yeah, it'll be less than that. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I
Okay.
can see. I can't see other than the address, but yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's it. That's just a cover page. So, okay, let's go. Okay, so the project is located at the end of the street, abutting the city of Mountain View single-family neighborhood. There are a few two-story houses in the neighborhood, and our design is a response to the neighbor pattern. We have contacted all of our neighbors and will provide positive feedbacks. And so these are the pictures of our immediate neighbors that we consider. Across our project is the new two-story residence that Sam mentioned, which is 906 New Nano. My clients really like the veneer finish of our neighbor's house, and we're trying to apply to our project as well. On the right side of our house is 921, and across the street is 930. Both are single-family ranch-style house. And next to our right neighbor is 935, which is a two-story ranch-style residence. So our architectural design goal is to provide high-quality building frontage, appearance to the street, response to site and environmental force, promote pedestrian-friendly elements by a lawn front porch, incorporate sustainable and energy-efficient building systems, reference contextual architectural vocabularies in the neighborhood, such as the materials that we're going to use, and use quality lasting materials. So our design focuses on the contemporary ranch style with a modern materials such as large windows, smooth stuccos, stone veneers, and wood siding. My clients really liked the low pitch metal roof, providing a fresh and clean vocabulary. So we did study a bit about our immediate neighbor, especially the new houses. So these are some of the new houses in our neighborhood that we studied. We are interested, especially in the 3 windows primary vocabulary. We are also interested in the mixture of soft wood siding finish with a more solid stone base. The recessed 2-floor masking provide a good balance to the design. So we apply our studies and our neighbors' house patterns into the design. Then we play with various finishes options, from a more traditional appearing wooden layout to a more contemporary cedar finish. The 3 window patterns is used for our 1-story design, and the 2 windows pattern is used for the 2nd floor. So this is our final design with a more refined and simplified balance between the sidings and stone veneer finish. The garage door and the wood sidings are connected to link the 1st and the 2nd floors together. The front elevation provides a balanced 2nd floor in relations to the 1st floor entry and large windows on either side of the entry. Since the approach of the house is always from the south, the right side of the design provides definition of the house, followed by 2-story windows, and ends with the garage on the left side. As mentioned, we use high quality materials such as Patlix natural siding, metal roof throughout, smooth plaster for the exterior walls in general. This concludes the presentation of the actual building design, but I have one more slide. So we do have a minor change over the Christmas break that I would like to inform you. We designed the bathroom and enlarged the walk-in closet. As a result, the high windows for the walk-in closet is moved 6 inches, and the toilet room windows is moved 12 inches. But from the exterior standpoint, there is not much change except the slight shaping of the high windows here. As you can see on the bottom, that we just slightly sliced to the back of the house. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kyle.
Would the owner like to speak?
Yes, briefly. So I'm Heiran. This is my husband, Rick. We have 3 kids, Serena at 7, Aaron at 4, and Alvin at 1.5. We bought the current house in late 2017 for the good schools. We really enjoyed a quiet and friendly neighborhood. Both Aaron and Alvin are born here. We would like to continue living here. We proposed the 2-story house to have plenty of backyard space for the 3 kids to play in. While we value our neighbors' privacy, back in July, we talked to all the adjacent neighbors, presented the design, reviewed the screening trees. With the feedback, we made some adjustments. We value the good neighbors that we have and are committed to preserve a sufficient level of privacy for both ourselves and the neighbors. Lastly, thanks to Kyle, our architect, Sean, the plan reviewer, and the commission for guiding and supporting us in building a house that would improve the value of the neighborhood. Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you. Commissioners, do you have any comments, questions for owner or architect?
Not at the moment, no. Good presentation, Kyle.
Okay. Let's see, Sean, do we have anyone speaking or raising hands to speak on this matter?
Let me look really quick, 1 second. If there's any member of the public who would like to speak on this item, please raise your hand. If you cannot raise your hand, please unmute yourself and provide us your name. Providing your name is optional. It does not appear we have anyone who would like to. Fern Laraca, you are unmuted. Did you wish to speak on the item?
I just wanted to say that we saw the plans and we live across the fence and we approve of the project.
Besides Ms. LaRocca, we have no other individuals who wish to speak on the item.
Okay, thank you, Sean. Seeing no more comments, we'll close the public comment part and go to our three commissioners to discuss. Who would like to begin? Sean or Stuart?
Yeah, okay. My comments are quite brief. I drove to the site and looked, and my opinion is the proposed plans make sense and are appropriate for the neighborhood. I've reviewed the application and I thought it was quite thorough. And I thought the outreach process to the neighbors was more than adequate. So I think it's a wonderful project and should be approved.
Okay, thank you. Jeppe?
I agree. The same with Stuart. I believe the project that comes into balance with the neighborhood, and the language that they're using is pretty universal. It's contemporary, so it balances out a little bit of the old with transitional to the new. I like what it brings to it, and proportionally it's nice, and I think the family should have a new home to look forward to.
Great. I am in agreement with the two commissioners. I like the project. I met the owners and that was pleasant. And so I look forward to this project going forward. Commissioners, do we have a motion?
I would like to open a motion to approve a project SC 22-0024, 905 Leonello Avenue with no conditions.
Okay. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. I'll call the roll. Stuart?
Aye.
Jeppe?
Aye.
Sam? Aye. Three unanimous of the three commissioners with us. So we're happy to approve your project and look forward to your neighborhood and your family growing and enjoying where you are. So thanks for bringing that to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kyle.
All right, Sean.
Thank you.
Sean, can we move to our second item, 363 West East Edith Avenue.
Good evening, Chair Harding again and commissioners. This is a design review application for a first and second story addition to an existing single story residence. The project includes 86 square foot for a porch at the first story and a new 805 square foot second story. This provides an elevation, a photo simulated drawing of the front elevation of the structure. The subject property is located in West Edith between Cypress Drive and Foothill Expressway. The surrounding neighborhood is considered a consistent character neighborhood as defined in the city's residential design guidelines, with characteristics of low scale, a similar house style, which is similar, mostly ranch style homes, similar or reasonably similar setbacks, and common streetscape character. This provides an aerial photograph of the site, again, between Cypress Drive and Foothill Expressway. As depicted in the design plans, which are attachment E, the applicant is proposing an 86 square foot porch and a second story addition. The project does comply with the development standards of the R110 district. There you go. This provides on the left side the existing first floor plan, on the right side the proposed floor plan. The hatch line in red is the location of the addition or the proposed patio or a porch along the front of the structure, along the street frontage. The applicant is proposing a second story addition, which is outlined in dark black bold. It is proposing an office space with lounge, 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and then an open area to the dining room and living room below. A proposed, along the frontage of the structure, the addition includes, again, the porch with a hip roof form, the removal of the board and batten horizontal siding and its replacement with a stucco exterior finish, the removal of the horizontal siding in the gables, removal of the bay window in bedroom number 2 along the frontage, addition of a projecting and defined porch, and wood and stone veneer details. Along the interior side, the right side, the gable roof is being modified to a Dutch gable to eliminate the existing encroachments into the daylight plane. As stated in the report, the existing structure has encroachments into the daylight plane, which then create a legal non-conforming structure. A legal non-conforming structure is constrained with a nonconformity, which would not allow more than 50% of the existing structure to be modified. By clipping the gables, the structure then becomes conforming, and the constraints of not exceeding 50% go away. And that is the intention why the applicant is clipping or creating these Dutch gables on the sides. Let's see, let's go to the next one for you. Along the interior left side, again, the gable was clipped to a Dutch gable to eliminate existing encroachment, replacement of a window in the laundry room in bedroom number 2 and window in the office, the addition of a new window in bathroom number 1, and a new garage door is proposed. Along the rear elevation, they are proposing the replacement of a window in bathroom number 1 with a similar window, replacement of a window in the primary bedroom with a 2-panel sliding door, replacement of a window in the dining room with a large multi-panel window with a door. The windows and the doors will match the new window styles for the house. And staff believes that the window styles and doors are compatible with the overall design. Along the left side, which would be the lower elevation, there is a small window with a minimum windowsill height of 5 feet 10 inches. Staff believes, based on the sill height, that there will not be privacy impacts and due to the size of the window. And so we do not believe there'll be any impacts to neighboring properties. On the right elevation of the second story, there are 3 windows proposed. It includes a medium-sized window in bedroom number 4 with a 3'6" sill height, a small window with a 5.9 foot sill height, and a window in bedroom number 3 with a 3'6" sill height. Due to the sill heights of the window in the bathroom, staff does not believe it'll create privacy concerns. Staff is concerned with the sill height of the 2 bedrooms that can obtain egress from the front and rear of the structure, and does recommend condition number 4 to raise the sill height of the bedrooms to 4'6" with the proposed sill heights, and staff does not believe that the elevation will create any significant privacy impacts. Along,
Go ahead.
Along the rear elevation, the second story, there are 3 windows proposed, 1 medium-sized window with a sill height of 3'6" for bedroom number 3, 2 large 6-panel windows for the dining room with a sill height of 9 feet 2 inches. The rear elevation may have the potential for privacy impacts. The staff considers the privacy impact to be minimal, with the setback of 36 feet 6 inches, which is greater than the required setback of 25 feet. In addition, the existing dense screening and existing trees, the proposed new podocarpus gracilior will mitigate potential privacy impacts. So staff does believe that there will not be significant privacy impacts along the rear. This provides, again, the landscape plan, which is in your plan set, that does convey where the podocarpus is being proposed. This is the materials board, which is also in your plan set. It does, again, indicate the composition material for the roof. the bronze vinyl windows for the windows, the Eldorado stone with a cap, a stone cap being proposed, and the stucco siding that is replacing a majority of the siding on the structure. Staff believes that the structure does comply with the design review findings and the single-family design guidelines. This concludes staff's presentation. Is there any questions?
Thank you, Sean. Commissioners, any questions for Sean?
Good presentation, Sean.
Yes, it was. I do have one question for staff. West Edith, where this project is located, is a pretty busy street. And I was wondering if it's possible or appropriate to include in the conditions of approval something about where construction vehicles would park, or cleanup so that there aren't a bunch of nails left on a busy street? Or are those things that can be written into the conditions of approval?
So typically we have to have, I mean, it's common for commercial multifamily developments to have those type of conditions because of the size and scale of the developments. It's the only time, so the Design Review Commission has created those conditions before. Usually the conditions are that it's usually in a constrained area or some other outstanding, additional factor is creating that issue. The last time was due to a hillside development with narrow streets. So it was necessary to have some type of construction management plan. The building division, does respond to complaints. So if there is a complaint of tracking soil or dirt onto a public right of way or any other material, they'll stop the project and they'll have them correct that issue. So there are mitigation measures that are naturally built into the building permit process to address issues of erosion and siltation or bringing dirt into a roadway. So those type of issues usually don't occur, but you are welcome to add those conditions.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Sean, I have a question on the cover page of attachments. There are two sections referring to a new pool. And I don't see anything about a new pool or an old pool on the property.
What are you referring to? It's in an attachment, or
no? It's on the first page of attachment E under the vicinity map, numbers 10 and 11. Build a new pool in the backyard with new wood trellis and barbecue station. Add new gas line to barbecue station. And 11. Build in a new pool, trellis, and barbecue station in the backyard. So repeating itself, but two comments about a barbecue station. I'm gathering that's because there's a permit to extend the gas. And the second is two comments about a pool, and I don't see anything about a pool.
Is this in the, are you referencing the project plans that states this?
Yeah.
What page?
A1.
A1, okay. Well, the applicant is here. So this project doesn't include a pool, and typically staff recommends applicants separate pools from single-family developments. Usually they're two separate permits. Unless the applicant believes it's necessary to include a pool, staff usually doesn't recommend they include pools, because typically the problem is that pools are traditionally very delayed in construction, and then they'll end up delaying their occupancy of a building. So we usually require them to be separate permits. Pools are administratively handled permits by the planning division and the building division. Issues of like outdoor kitchens are also handled administratively, since staff does manage one-story or site modifications.
So perhaps, yeah, could hear from the architect or the applicant. I can see a hand being raised.
Absolutely, they are here tonight.
Good evening. Sorry, yes, as Sean just explained, we did separate it out. We weren't ready for the pool design and things, so that was an initial discussion. It's an error that the note is still on the sheet. We are not proposing a pool or an outdoor trellis or a barbecue station at the moment. It is the design as you are seeing it, with no changes in the backyard.
Thank you. So let's see. We've no more comments from commissioners to staff. So may we hear your presentation? You've just answered a question, but would you please present your project to us?
Yes, please. So I will just share a very short PDF for us to just walk through. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I'll begin again. Hi, I'm Malvika Rao, the residential designer on this project. Good evening to members of the Design Review Committee, the city staff members, Sean, and the members of the neighborhood who've taken the time to join us today. We thank you for your time to review this project. The clients are Anand and Ramya. They're a young family who've lived in the neighborhood for a short period of time, but love it there, like the environment, and are looking forward to growing into the home, which is why they'd like to expand it. This home is located, as Sean explained, among homes that are single story all along either side of the property, while the ones in the front of the property are all two-story homes. All homes have roughly similar styles and proportions, and these proportions have been maintained in the design as well. As you see here, this is the property in question, and on either side we have single-story homes. The lot is also kind of different in the sense we don't have too many neighbors abutting us on the street. Everybody's turned into the cul-de-sacs towards the back. So our neighbors are kind of showing, the street edge is their backside, so their backyards. These are the homes towards the front, and the rough proportions from our estimate of what we can see of how the neighbors' houses are. So we're keeping to those proportions and plate height. The proposed design is to add a second story to the home. There will be some internal renovations to the existing home to open up the floor plan, just make the spaces nicer for the family, give them more space, make the home more lively, more of interaction within the home. That is the intent in the ground floor. While we add the second floor, we are including a lounge area, additional bedrooms here with bathrooms and a little office because all of us are moving into working from home a lot more. The existing home as is has stucco with siding towards just the front. We are looking to update this aesthetic. The key design-wise has been to ensure that the design of the home would further the aesthetics of the neighborhood. This property is surrounded beautifully by native oak and pine trees that truly enrich the living experience in this home. Keeping in tune with this lush greenery, the home facades will now be proposed to be clad with wood panels and glazing that will blend with the surroundings. The ground level will be stucco with stone-clad wainscot paneling. The second level will have, like I mentioned, wood cladding and stucco towards the back and the rear as appropriate. We thank the neighbors who have been encouraging of the design as well. Anand, the client, has personally spoken to the neighbors to inform them of the design intent. We have been careful to ensure that the privacy is maintained on all sides, like Sean explained and guided us through the process. The design proposes trees that you see here to ensure privacy screening because we have the bedrooms proposed on that side of the property. While on the left side of the property, it's a small extension that just has a window for the bathroom there, which we maintain high sill levels and we will not have visual access into the neighboring property. So that is the general idea of the design. The screening that will be proposed is the Podocarpus dresselier trees. These we hope will grow into a nice, hedge, which is not just a screening, but will form a nice kind of an edge for the property, for the neighbors, for everybody. So it's not just a block thing. And lastly, I think we would really like to thank Senior Planner Sean Gallagher and his team for their efforts in guiding us through this process. And we look forward to your design approval and any comments and suggestions you would have for us. And we do await completion of the home for the family. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions of the architect or the owners?
No question.
Okay. Sean, do we have any public speakers on the project?
If there is any member of the public who'd like to speak tonight, please raise your hand. If you're not able to raise your hand, please unmute yourself. I do not believe, I believe the three parties that are present besides the commission are members of the project. So I do not believe we have anybody who would like to speak tonight.
Okay. Thank you. All right, with that, I'll close the public comments and come back to our three members to discuss the project. What are your thoughts?
Chepe, you want to go first this time?
Sure. I go by that street almost daily. I drove by the house as well and to look at it with new eyes, how it would look. It's densely covered with trees, and I believe the design is done well. They're going to have a pretty good light towards the back. It's facing north, so I like the project. I like what they've done to it. I like the proposed.
Okay, Stuart.
Similar comments. I like the project. I thought the application addressed what it needed to address, and the outreach to the neighbors was also good. So my only concerns are really kind of touching on what Chepe said. That street's used a lot, and maybe it's just common sense that construction people will find convenient places to park out of the way. But as a newcomer to the commission, I guess I'd welcome your input if either of you are concerned about explicitly requiring any kind of construction management, or if it's just common sense and can be escalated to the city if there's problems.
Yeah, I would, to answer that, we've had several projects where on one I can think of, two, the one on the hill that Sean talked about, another one which was on a very narrow street with large trees. So there was actually hardly any place for trucks to either park and or pass. And so that was one where we put extensive mitigating circumstances and protocols to make that happen. And as it turned out, they decided not to have the project. So we didn't have to get into any more depth. So I think that Sean's experience and how it goes through engineering and other divisions, I think that those will be covered if they should arise. So with that, do I have a motion on SC 22-0027, 363 West Edith Avenue?
Yes, I have a motion to approve the project.
Okay, is there a second?
I second.
Call the vote. Chepe?
Aye.
Stuart?
Aye.
Sam? Aye. The project is approved. Thank you very much to the owners and to the architect and to Sean. So congratulations, your project is approved.
Thank you so much.
Sean, do we have any other items other than our next meeting is in a couple of weeks? You're muted. Yeah, you're muted.
We do have an item. I don't know if we want to continue this to the next meeting. It's regarding the council meeting schedule, unless because the next meeting is on the 18th. We should give sufficient time for Chepe, if he's not able to attend, to flip it. Otherwise, we would have all 5 members here, and all the commissioners could decide which meetings they could attend. Would you like to
So
continue it?
do you know what Chepe and Stuart, this is the attendance at a council meeting for each of us. We are assigned dates to do that. And I think in my tenure, I've been once, because it's only if there's something that's pending at the city that you need to attend. Would you say it any differently? It's not a mandatory attendance. It's just that you need to be available for that, Sean?
Correct. So the only time a commissioner will be attending a meeting is if, one, there's an appeal, which we haven't had an appeal of a project in a number of years, or if there was a discussion on either an ordinance modification, which the commission's done in regards to ADUs, and then the a commissioner would attend. Other than that, most commissioners do not attend council meetings. It's infrequent.
Yeah.
And if they can't attend, usually they reach out to other commissioners or to staff, and we find someone else that could attend for them. It's usually
Right.
not problematic. Because usually if there is a need for attendance, usually there is a group of a subcommittee that usually needs to attend, and there's always someone that could attend.
Yeah, and you do get notice of it. So that, but again, I've attended once, so. So anything else, Sean, for tonight?
Did Commissioner Klein wish to make any changes? I can bring it back again also as another review, and we can make changes based on Commissioner Klein's,
On the minutes, yeah.
or on the city council meeting assignments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on the schedule, I had conflicts on 2 dates, but it sounds like, number one, it's infrequent, and number two, it can be handled informally and quickly
Yeah.
at the last minute if something comes up. So that's good enough for me.
Okay. Good. All right, Sean, any other matters that we need to?
So we have something very interesting happening at the beginning of the year. It's already happened. So under state law, the city is not permitted to place, starting January 1st, project plans on the website. So, as you're all aware, how we make the public aware of projects is we post the agenda with the staff report and all the attachments, including the plans. And this is how the commissioners also obtain these documents. Starting our next meeting on January 18th, this was posted before January 1st, so it was able to sneak through. But starting January 18th, we will not be posting plans on the website. They will need to come into City Hall to look at plans. I don't know the reasoning behind the state's regulation. I don't know if it was an issue of
Privacy.
Yeah, both privacy or whether there's an architectural
Security.
concern of intellectual property
Yeah.
rights, but that is happening. What staff will be doing is we will still be providing your plans digitally. We do have a cloud drive, and so we will provide you links to the plans.
Okay,
There are some commissioners that do receive paper plans. The city council's recommendation or direction is that everyone should be digital. However, we do accommodate existing commissioners that have a need for paper drawings. But we would highly recommend, if you do not require paper, please do not request paper. But if you need it, we will provide it to you. Just make sure to contact Yvonne DuPont or myself and let us know, and we will provide you a printed copy. Right now, I believe we provide 3 commissioners, I think, require it.
so are you talking about, I get the attachments, the two,
Yes.
I do not get, as we used to get, the full packet. So, and I preferred that in the past because it was easier to review, and I knew there was a tremendous recycling issue relative to that, but so, you know, if I were, for me, I would love to still have the hard copies, but I know that that's impractical for many reasons, but
I mean, it's not problematic for staff. It's just council direction that we're supposed to be digital, and that for sustainability, we're supposed to not be using paper. However, if commissioners request paper, we'll provide you plans, but we won't provide you the packet.
Right.
The furthest we'll go is the plans. And if any commissioner requires that, you are welcome to request that, but we do request avoiding that if necessary to try to comply with council direction. But we do provide them. Other than that, those are the only
I have a question, Sean.
2 items.
Chippy?
We're supposed to do in-person commissions soon, right? Do you have a date, that starting date?
No, I do not.
No?
Not yet.
It's rumored only, right?
Yes, it's going to happen. I don't know when.
Okay.
Council's first real formal meeting, I think, is this month. coming up, the 24th or something like that. So they're going to
Yeah.
be doing an in-person meeting. I think all future meetings, once they are in person, will be a hybrid,
Okay.
where they have members of the public are allowed to attend virtually, but staff and the commission will be present at the council chambers.
Sure.
So that then brings up the issue of attachments and plans and so forth. Are we to bring a device like an iPad with us so that we can look at those things in addition to what you're going to be presenting in a council situation?
I mean, I think all of the items we send you can be downloaded. We don't have devices for individual members. Of course, each of the dais for the commissioners and council both have monitors, which then convey what we're showing you. If you're not aware, the council chambers has been updated. So we do now have a new, larger kind of monitor screen. We do have individual monitors for each of the council members and commissioners. I don't know how to use all those things yet. We have to go through a training. Supposedly it's very complex, more complex than the previous one. It's going to be a multi-week training to learn how to use all of their technology. If you do need paper because you find the process is too difficult, then that may be a basis why we need to start providing paper again, because.
But I'm just thinking, if we're sitting in the meeting and our only source of information is going to be what is in front of us on that screen, we won't be able to refer to other things unless we could either have the paper or be able to access the other things on our laptop or iPad.
Right.
But I think that's been like that for quite a while with council too. So I think council has been managing things digitally also. That doesn't mean that council members don't come into City Hall and print things off probably. So if you do believe you need something, we're always willing to accommodate. It's not our first direction is to print everything off. It's by request.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then going back to the historical issues of the council chambers, I've peeked in from time to time. And so is it to be about the same dais in the same place?
Nothing's changed. I mean, it's the same. It's the same, location. I think they've upgraded it somewhat now. The only thing is the technology's changed. Where before you may not have known this, Commissioner Klein, but they used to have like shields beneath, so you could grab a shield that was bulletproof and you can run out of the chambers. And now that's gone. It's now built into the dais, so you can duck beneath it and it's bulletproof.
No, I never knew that either.
Yeah, they had shields that had handles, and each of the commissioners or council members could grab the shield and run out, and it would protect them. But
no one ever told me that.
Yeah, they took away the shield and now they built it into it. So it's built into it. So other than that, it's all technology. The seating is the same. You have improved chairs, you have improved screens. You have greater control over timing since you can control the timer directly right in front of you as chair.
Now, at one point, I know there was issues about the height of the steps and the inconvenience that was spoken about of people who had to sit on the dais. And so I'm assuming that whatever that was has been improved.
Yes, it is full ADA compliant. We do have like a ramp now and a lift for council members in the future if they're ever disabled. We do have improved accessibility for the public. I wish that they had decided to do Lacey because that would have been a good option, but council decided to stay in the smaller chambers. So
and you're thinking that their next meeting will be that first in person.
It's coming up in, I think I just received an email, but we received so many emails.
Well, it was a meeting last night, and so 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks from last night's meeting, I think, is going to be their first physical meeting, I think, and it's going to be a hybrid. I think they've been testing meetings like that, but it's the first formal meeting. Typically, and my understanding is because the technology is so complicated, it's going to take a period of time to train us. Before it was very simple to go in and just click a few buttons. Anybody could learn it, but this is designed for an audio professional, and none of us are audio professionals. So
are you, I know that you will arise to that position, but are we expected to also arise to a professional level?
No, staff will take care of all of the all of the technology. We'll set it up in advance of the meeting, and then we may have to run back and turn it on before the meeting starts, but we'll take care of that.
Well, it'll be an adventure, as it has been for the last few years.
Yeah, we don't have audio technology staff like council or the planning commission. Planning commission and council have audio staff. We bring personnel in that manage that for us, and they control the cameras.
Okay. Well, thank you and good luck on all those changes and your training and so forth, and meetings adjourned.
And this is 8:02 p.m., right?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, see you in 2 weeks.
Good to see you. Good seeing you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.